Good evening, everybody. Alan Slaughterzinski, 321 Sportscast, and team nights continue as we promised throughout the summer. And tonight, it's the Satellite Beach Scorpions. I don't know why I say beach in there. It's the Satellite Scorpions. And you know what? We've talked to the football team. We don't want to talk to the football team. Tonight, we talk to the volleyball team. We talk to head coach Daren Bolton. Coach, welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you, Alan. I'm awesome.
Well, Coach, it's been a big year for you. Space Coast Sports Hall of Famer. And before we get to talking about the ladies and the program, for those that don't know, I just find your story to be unbelievably fascinating when it comes to your love of volleyball. All of this is true, by the way. They don't need a disclaimer at the bottom of the screen for this. Coach, how did you fall in love with volleyball?
All right, so a lot of people play indoor and then gravitate to the beach.
Sure.
There was obviously a very inspirational movie called Top Gun.
Yes.
That has this incredible volleyball scene in it with Tom Cruise and Val Kilmer and I'm trying to remember.
Ed Norton. We all know it. Growing up, we all saw it, all loved it. We all thought we were them, but go ahead.
Yep, so that, I thought it looked really cool. So from that point forward, some buddies and I jerry-rigged a net in one of our backyards, and we started to play two-man volleyball on the grass until we got brave enough to get on the beach.
And aren't we glad that he did here in Brevard County, because a lot has happened, and we're going to talk about that coming up. But, Coach, you played. Tell us a little bit about your playing days.
I played competitive beach volleyball at a multitude of levels, from primarily AA and some open, and traveled around the state playing beach volleyball with a variety of partners, having a good time, had a pretty decent amount of success, had a good passion for the game. And then I had a daughter, and as she got old enough, I started taking her with me, and she slowly picked up the game and went. Then towards the end, I was playing men's on the Saturday, and then we would hang out whatever town we were in, whether it's Clearwater, Jack's Beach, any of the traveling around, and then we would hang out and do the juniors with her the next day. But half the time we didn't have enough juniors to do it, so her and I would play co-ed.
Well, you know, I tell you, and you really began to do this at a time when, you know, you think of beach volleyball, I think of, and I'll probably say his name wrong, Karch Karai. I always throw an L in there for some reason. I don't know why, but Karch Karai. And, you know, I always found beach volleyball to be very fast. I couldn't play it because, well, I could only jump 2 inches. But, you know, it's a sport everybody just loves to play. And, of course, it's grown in popularity, tremendous. You had a lot to do with that here locally. Take us through that scenario.
So through the inspiration of my daughter not having the opportunity and to play juniors, I saw the need of us playing and traveling all around the state. We all, kind of us older guys, as we got older, we were noticing there's no one new coming into our sport.
Right.
We played the same teams, whether it was Clearwater, whether it was Jacksonville Beach or down south. And so I just kind of looked around, and I noticed a lot of times out at the Cocoa Beach Pier, you know, the better you were, the more you dominated the courts. And so the younger players never really got a chance. Even when I was learning, I'd wait till all the big guys left, and then we'd go out on the court, whether it's right before dark or real early in the morning, just to get on a court. And then I noticed that, you know, we're not doing anything to grow the sport. We love it, we play it, and we need to give back to it, or this sport may not stay alive. So that was the inspiration, and I was coaching indoor at the time, in high school at the time, and I went to Connie and said, Connie, I got this crazy idea. We need to teach kids beach volleyball, and we started, I think we're on our 13th year, so 13 years ago, and us and a club in South Florida were the first in the country to focus directly on juniors, teaching them. There's indoor clubs everywhere, but nobody was dedicating the time to teach beach volleyball.
25 or whatever the numbers were 1 year, and then the next year it was unbelievable.
We went from 15 to 72 to 128 in a waiting list.
Wow.
In a 3-year period.
And that's grown leaps and bounds even more because, you know, the volleyball community is a unique community, and as you heard Coach mention Connie, and that's Connie Denneberg. everybody knows everybody, everybody coaches everybody. Don't get me wrong. It was very, very competitive, okay? But it is a unique family in coaching away from the court. And so you kind of took over the beach aspect of it. Well, Connie stayed indoors. But you, as the girls got older, they didn't have this. There wasn't an opportunity to do this at the high school level, was there?
No, there was no and believe it or not, it wasn't in college when I started.
Really?
No, it was just out of passion. I wasn't starting it for kids to have an opportunity to get a scholarship or anything like. There were no scholarships. There were no college programs. I dreamed of it. I talked of it, and immediately once the sport blew up like it did so fast and so many kids in Brevard County wanted to play, I wanted 11 years ago, I wanted Brevard County to be the first county in the United States to have high school beach volleyball. Unfortunately, I just hit one roadblock after another. The FHSAA was not cooperative at all. They told me it would, if I trained they were against us training our players in beach.
I'm shocked.
For the fact they considered it out of season training, so that if I was a high school coach, they did not want me working with high school kids. So
it's okay to play 7-on-7 football, though. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. So times have changed.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of support from Benita Holland at Rockledge. I was coaching high school at Rockledge at the time, even to the point she had, we were trying to get sand courts at Rockledge High. A good 9 years ago, 8 years ago, but gave up the fight for a little bit, and then got re-energized to fight for high school beach volleyball, and then it started showing up in California. Then I think it was Arizona was second, and then Florida jumped on the bandwagon, if you want to call it that, the last few years, and we're still growing. Brevard County doesn't recognize it as an official sport, but they did, through some fighting. They allowed us, schools that are interested, to start a program as a club. And then that was the first fight. The second fight was allowing us to join the Sunshine State Athletic Conference to be able to compete against other high school programs. Prior to that, I skipped over the thing. The first year I started high school, I just did an inter-county.
Gotcha.
Through my club, I just said, all right, on Wednesdays and Sundays, I had 8 or 9 high schools that first year that we would just get together on a Wednesday and Sunday, informal, and compete against each other. But now, Merritt Island and Satellite have programs, and my goal is each year to double that and get more programs. The interest is there.
Yeah.
The beach is full of kids, and they all go to school in Brevard County, most of them.
And they win state championships, too, which, by the way, at it. And so, well, that's a great story, and it's one, I've personally followed closely. Admire you for not giving up on it, because it is a lot of fun to cover, and I think it's going to be it's great for people to watch. People love watching beach volleyball. In fact, at my previous employer, it was the third most watched sporting event of the year, and when I say third most watched sporting event, the first 2 were rival high school football games, Cocoa Rockledge and Vieira Cocoa, and beach volleyball was third. So you do the math there and tell me if you don't enjoy watching it. All right, Coach, let's talk about the indoor game, because it's Satellite Scorpion night here on 321 Sportscast. And tell me about your team.
I'm very excited.
Yeah.
There's a lot of reasons to get excited about an upcoming season. You can be excited about you've got a great group of kids coming back. You had a great season, all the different things. This season I think I've only had this one other time where I graduated 10 amazing seniors. And that's the most I've ever graduated. But I've got a good core group of girls coming back that I have a lot of confidence in, and so you can look at it as, and I tell them in open gym, are we going to be a rebuilding year or a reloading year? Now I could sit up here and say we're just reloading and we're going to go, but I'm a believer we got to prove it. So to me, I look at this as a reloading year, but until we get on that court, right now the hard work is being done. And if the hard work gets done and we get back on the court and we have another successful season, which is what I foresee, then that will be a rebuilding year. If we go out on that court and we have struggles and we have a subpar season, then you could easily write it off to rebuilding. But I'm not into rebuilding. I didn't come to Satellite High to rebuild. I came to sustain a program, a freshman working up to a JV and a JV working up to a varsity, that it's just plug and play. Good players replacing good players.
Focused is what Coach Daren Bolton is, and tell us about the ladies you brought with you here tonight.
Well, I've got Kaylee is a returning right side for me, Kaylee Flynn. She's a senior for me. Carly, who has currently played middle, but I've heard a rumor around town that she may want to branch out and play some other positions. And then I have Lauren Muller, was my freshman last year on our team, that I've been utilizing Lauren in several positions, from setter to outside to DS, kind of an all-around complete player. Very excited to have them returning. Like I said, I was sad to see my group go. That was the group I came to Satellite with, this group of seniors that graduated. But I'm pretty excited about what we have coming in. We've had some good freshman classes. Last year's freshman class was loaded. I think we'll end up a little bit of a younger team, but I think we're going to have a lot of energy on the floor.
Volleyball, tell us a little, for the novice out there, tell us a little bit about how you go about building, I guess as short as you can, building a volleyball program.
It starts with your coaching staff.
Right.
I've got really lucky. I have Coach David Jelinek. That has been, we started coaching together. I think I may have given him his first coaching position in Cape Coast as far as an assistant, I believe. And Dave and I have been together ever since. We coached club together. And as soon as I got to Satellite, he was the first person I was on the phone with. Come on with me. And man, he does a good job of getting our kids on our JV and helping me with the varsity, where it's just plug and play. One good player leaves, you fill it with another good player.
What'd you learn from Benita Holland at Rockledge? I know we've had this conversation before, but, look, you took a program there, won a district championship.
Well, we won the Cape
Coast Conference Championship. So, I know, in writing your Hall of Fame bio, Benita Holland was somebody that you mentioned a lot. What is it about her that's so special?
I came into that was obviously my first high school coaching position. I came in as a JV coach and assisted with the varsity. The program, I was coaching club at the time of a group of girls that were then going to be moving up, and the majority of them were going from basically St. Mary's and going to be starting at Rockledge High. And their program was struggling. They didn't win a single game that previous year. It was just time for change, I guess. I don't know much about that era. I was busy coaching club, but I came on, coached JV for a couple of years, helped, I feel very strongly, helped, like I just said, you got to have a good JV and freshman coach to start the program. And then Paige Bucky was who I helped. She had a lot to do with turning the program around, and we basically worked together. And then she went on to an administrator, working to be an administrator, so they needed someone to take over the program. Took over the program, and we had some tremendous success. We had an amazing year. We won the Cape Coast Conference, which was Rockledge's first time ever in volleyball. It was quite the year. Yeah,
and I know that. Look, you play in a gauntlet of a division. How do you look at your division? Talk a little bit about the division you play in.
Well,
district.
The district. For the first time ever, I am not in a district with Holy Trinity or Merritt Island.
Well, there you have it.
Those have been the two nemesis in my career. The year we beat Merritt Island, it was the year I was in with Holy Trinity. I don't have the best of luck when it comes to districts, because just about every year the team that I can't get past in districts makes it pretty far in state, if not to the state finals. Holy Trinity did it that year. They made it and lost in the finals. Merritt Island, obviously has won two. So it's been a little tough getting around them. But it's a good thing. Man, I'm a believer in play the best competition.
Sure.
It's the only way to get better.
Do you still play them at all this year?
Oh, yeah. Listen, I'll never not play Merritt Island.
Right.
And Angie and I are definitely good friends, but
How does that, for those that don't know, the dynamic? You get out there, obviously, you hear it all the time, right? Well, we're good friends off the court, which you are, and you see you guys talking, but you get on that court, and I know you got to be thinking, Coach Patrick, I love you, but daughters at Satellite, hello, I'm cheering for the Scorpions. That's just the way it goes, and I know it's that intense.
it's intense because I'm a Cocoa Tiger graduate, and I don't like anything about a Mustang.
Right, I got you. No, I hear you.
I grew up, and it was instilled in me. We didn't,
Right.
We couldn't walk across in the Merritt Square Mall without jawing with a
No,
Merritt
right.
Island, so
Still that way.
I love a lot of the kids and the people involved.
You coach a lot of them.
Yes, I coach a tremendous amount of them. I've coached close to as many Merritt Island kids as Angie through beach and through. I love what she's done with that program.
Mm-hmm.
Connie started it and really got it going, and Angie has done nothing but build on it. And their program sets the bar. It's so when we play them, that kind of gives us, that's the good measuring stick of our county. Every year, it's a challenge to get by them. But listen, she's not my friend when that gym.
No, I hear you. I hear you. What would you want everyone to know about Satellite Volleyball as we head into the 2019 season?
I think we're going to be a very exciting team to watch. We have a lot of work to do. I think the challenging thing about losing 10 players is the high school season is such a short time to prepare players, 6 players, 8 players to move synchronized on a court in just about a 3-week preseason. There's just not a lot of time to prepare. But if you're going to get us early, because I think as that season goes, we're going to figure things out, and I don't have any doubt we're going to work hard, and we're going to play hard.
And you're going to see a lot of the Scorps this year right here on 321 Sportscast. It is our intent to broadcast a lot of volleyball, at least 2 to 3 matches a week. We've got one of the best in the business when it comes to broadcasting in Graham McGowan. He knows his volleyball like he knows his baseball and football, and Graham is very excited to be courtside this year at a lot of these matches. So we're excited about that here. And Coach, a lot of them I'm sure will be satellite games. Thank you so much for taking some time with us here today on Scorpion Night.
I appreciate you having Scorpion Night. It's got to be the best night.
It is, and that you gotta love hearing it.
Thank you for your coverage.
No problem.
For Brevard County sports, I greatly appreciate it.
For Coach Daren Bolton, I'm Alan Slaughter-Zinski. Scorpion Night will continue with the ladies in just a moment. We start with incoming sophomore Lauren Muller. Now, you may recognize Lauren here, and that is because Lauren was the 2018-19 Beach Volleyball Player of the Year here in Brevard County, and I know, and we'll talk about that because Lauren really does a lot for beach volleyball. But first of all, welcome to 321 Sportscast. How are you?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Well, I had a lot of fun interviewing you at the beach volleyball contest. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I play a lot of beach volleyball.
Yes, you do.
I love volleyball in general. I like to draw. I like to just hang at the beach.
So you win beach volleyball player of the year as a freshman. Quite an honor. How did that make you feel?
It made me feel really great, and it's only because I'm surrounded by great people. Coach Bolton really helps me with volleyball, and just great partners and just great people, good atmosphere.
Now, you're unique. I remember when we were looking for beach volleyball players of the year, and we were debating back and forth between a couple of players, and aside from your skill on the beach, which stands out, the thing that really stood out above and beyond was what you do for the game off the beach. I want you to talk a little bit about that because as Coach Bolton fought for the last decade to make this an official sport, it seems as though a player like yourself has picked up or is carrying this torch forward. Tell us a little bit about all that you do off the beach for it.
Well, I mean, I obviously haven't spent 10 years working
Right.
in the sport, but, I saw that beach volleyball is still only a club sport, and it's not officially recognized as a regular sport by the FHSAA. And thankfully, that Sunshine State Athletic Association, they made a program that allows kids in beach volleyball to compete through high school, which is really great, and I'm thankful for that. But I feel like it should be recognized as a sport and have actual funding for schools to actually fund and have courts to play on, because we don't have anywhere to play other than the beach. We don't have like a place at the school or anybody's school.
It's important because, and that is one of the things I wanted to talk to Coach Bolton about, because it is very important in this county. When you stop and think about Brevard County and the fact that there is not, this literally sounds ridiculous to even say, there is not a facility for beach volleyball for these student athletes to play. There are some things in the works I know of. I'll talk to Coach Bolton about that. But do you have your own website and all that cool stuff? Tell us about that.
I do. For anybody who really wants to play beach and compete, I have a website so you can meet other people, make an account, basically find people to play with. It's all about expanding opportunities for particularly juniors volleyball.
Now, beach volleyball, or volleyball in general, is a 365-day process. Like any other sport has become, volleyball is no different. There's open gym, there's training, there's beach training. So take us through, once we're getting ready to come up on court season for high school, what will you be doing the rest of the summer?
What will I be doing the rest of the summer?
Yeah, to prepare.
For
volleyball.
Yes, all right. Out open gyms. I work out, and also a lot of beach volleyball practices all the time, and a lot of tournaments, and it's gonna be busy.
And you travel in these tournaments, and you go far off places, and it really is. It encompasses a lot of your parents' time too.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that. How much time your parents put into this?
Honestly, I don't know how they do that.
Right.
I really don't, because it's almost every second, every day, just taking me to places, because I can't drive on my own yet, obviously.
Right.
And so I'm very, very thankful that I have parents that can support me in that way.
Tell us about your game on the court. Tell us about the indoor court. It's Scorpion night here. We're previewing, if you will, kind of a little bit of a preview of your upcoming indoor team this year. Tell us a little bit about your game and your team this year.
Well, our team, honestly, just a great group of girls. They're all super nice, very, I think we gel well, even though it's kind of like you said, a reload year. We lost 10 seniors. But everybody just gels really well, and it's kind of a supportive atmosphere. And everybody, they have a lot of potential, and I feel like once we play together more, we will really be something to mess with.
When did you start playing volleyball? How young were you?
I think I was 11.
11. So that's not that long ago. Do you play any other sports, or is it volleyball?
I used to play softball. I did a brief 1-year softball. So I can't say I'm like a softball master. But I tried it, and it just got in the way with volleyball, and I couldn't keep up with it.
Nothing wrong with that. Now we want to know a little bit about you off the court, okay? And for those that haven't sat up here yet, when I do the teams up here, I tend to ask these questions about, well, you'll see here in a second. But tell us a little bit about you off the court, your likes, your hobbies, and you can't say volleyball.
Okay.
What do you like to do away from the court and the sand?
I really like to do art. I like to draw.
What do you like to draw? How would you describe your art?
Well, I do pen. It's only black and white.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I really
That's cool.
I'm not like somebody who takes like months on a painting or on canvas. I just usually like to see something and then spend like an hour or so.
It could be anything.
Yeah, it could be. I really like kind of pop art type stuff, like
Gotcha.
like block prints and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
I think that's really cool.
So what kind of student are you? Tell us a little bit about your academics.
Well, I have a 4.0 GPA.
Oh, is that all?
I really work hard on it.
Aside from art, which obviously you're good at, what are some of the subjects that you feel aside from them all at a 4.0, but what do you like to study? Yeah, what do you like to study?
I like, as weird as it sounds, I like history.
Okay.
I like especially world history.
What about world history?
I just like how it's all really interconnected. Like everything affects something. It's not like this random fact on a timeline. It's like this affects the political effects, the social effects, all that. It's just really connected.
We'll have to we'll have to have you on to talk politics sometimes in world history. I kind of dig that. I've had a lot of football players in here who could never string that together, I promise you. I'm joking, guys, relax. They really couldn't. So, favorite food?
Favorite food? That's really hard. I like everything.
Like what?
I like pizza, I like sushi,
That is everything. That's the entire spectrum.
Just name something and I probably
Tacos. You like tacos?
Love it.
Love tacos.
Korean tacos too.
Oh my
Good.
goodness gracious. You do like everything. So I want you to look into that camera and I want you to tell Brevard County one thing about the Satellite Scorpions volleyball team they need to know for the upcoming season.
You better be scared. I mean, we ready. You don't even know. We're gonna come at you, but we're really scrappy. So don't doubt us. Even though it might be a little unintimidating at first, but don't doubt us.
Don't sleep on the
don't sleep on it.
On the 2019 beach volleyball player of the year. She's got something for you indoors, as do the Satellite Scorpions. For Lauren Muller, I'm Alan Slaughterzinski for 321 Sportscast. Satellite Scorpion Night continues with a senior here on the set. Carly Halsey joins us. Carly, tell us a little bit about yourself. Well, first, welcome. Now tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you for having me. My name is Carly. I'm going to be a senior in the fall, and I obviously like to play volleyball.
Now, what position do you play in volleyball?
I play a lot of positions. I mostly play front row, so middle, right side, a little bit of outside. Not for sure yet.
Okay. Well, you're playing all around, and for those of you, I'm not asking about their stats because we put them on the screen for you to see them, so you'll see their stats and what they've done in pictures and videos and all that good stuff as we progress through these team nights, just so you know. All right, so tell us a little bit about your team this year. Now, you're a senior. You've been with Coach Bolton now. You've been at Satellite the entire time?
I've been at Satellite for 4 years, but I've been playing on varsity for 3.
Okay, so you're a 3-year varsity player. Tell us a little bit about playing for Coach Bolton.
Playing for Coach Bolton is honestly, it's very fun.
What do you learn from him?
I learn it's very determining sport.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very focused, and it's very time consuming.
Do you play any other sports?
Volleyball 24/7.
That seems to be the general theme. When I talk to volleyball players, baseball players, football players, softball players, track, they can all do something else, but volleyball is a very focused sport on just volleyball. Why do you think that is? Is it because the amount of time it takes, or is it because you can move from the indoor to the outdoor game year-round?
Well, personally, I play indoor all year round.
Okay.
But when you're playing for high school, it's very time-consuming. You play almost 6 days a week, 2 games a week. And when you're not playing for high school, you're playing for club, training for the high school season. So there's never really a break in between. So you're always just training 24/7.
When playing, I guess, as a senior now, what are some of the goals for you? And then we'll talk about your team. And I know it's all team-centric and everybody does everything for the team, and I get that. But we all have personal goals as well. Coming into your last year, what would you say your personal goals are on the court this year?
Definitely coming with my team as a new team, definitely getting to know their vibe and stuff like that. But I'm definitely looking to play for the collegiate level is my goal for now.
Okay, and have you begun that process? Has anybody reached out? Tell me a little bit about this process for you.
So this process, I definitely haven't looked at it yet.
Okay.
I've still been trying to get better, reach to my potential.
Gotcha.
And just training, conditioning my hardest.
All right, tell us a little bit about you off the floor.
Off floor as in my hobbies.
Yeah, your hobbies, what you like to do.
When I'm not playing volleyball, I mostly hang out with my friends and spend time with my family as much as I can. I like to go to the beach. I like to go thrift shopping with my friends.
Talk about the thrift shopping part.
I love.
What do you, on a typical day, what does Carly like to look for at the thrift store? Or are you, like I am, where if you see something and you think it's a good deal, you're snatching it up?
Basically that, or like, I want to like start selling some stuff that I find.
Okay.
Stuff like that.
Do you watch those shows on TV, like those, where they take those trips when they go into those antique stores? And,
Yes, definitely.
Right? What types of music do you listen to?
A lot of music that I listen to, it varies. A lot of R&B, a lot of Queen.
Well, wait a minute. R&B and Queen. Now that's interesting. Now where do you get that taste? And where's that acquired? I mean, because R&B and Queen. You think R&B, and I'm thinking 60s, 70s, early 80s, and Queen, obviously the 80s. So where does that taste in music come from?
Growing up, my dad played a lot of like hard rock, 80s music.
That's
so
cool.
I kind of just vibed off of that. I loved it.
Love the lingo. Vibed off of that. I can dig it. I can definitely dig it. So as you approach, tell me about your off season. What is it you do to prepare for an upcoming season?
For an upcoming season, I go to every single open gym that Coach Bolton offers. I attend private trainings. I work out. I condition.
And your parents the same deal, or invest a lot of time. Then do you drive?
I do drive, and it's very fortunate that I do. My parents are my biggest supporters, so if I didn't have them, I probably wouldn't be playing the sport.
There's no doubt about it, and that's the other common theme with volleyball. Volleyball parents are a special breed of parents because, again, it is such a sport that, I mean, literally, look, I know Little League parents, you go here, there, everywhere, I get that. But volleyball is just different because you got to be what was it, when you're Vero Beach, what time is 6:30? At night? No, you gotta be at 6:30 in the morning. No.
Yeah.
No, don't do that. All right, so I've been asking these questions. Well, first let me ask, what kind of student are you? Tell me about your studies.
I'm a straight A student.
Okay.
I'm now dual enrolled at EFSC.
Okay, so talk a little bit about that.
So in the fall, I will be attending EFSC for my first year.
Okay.
Right now I'm taking a summer class. I'll be taking 3 classes at EFSC, and then I'll be taking 2 more at Satellite.
What are you studying?
For now, I'm just like general. I really want to go into engineering.
Okay.
But right now, it's just my prerequisites, getting them done as a senior.
That's awesome. I love the dual enrolled program. I think it's absolutely awesome. And wanting to be an engineer on the Space Coast is, a lot of opportunity. So that's a great field to pick from here. Okay. So I'm asking these crazy, silly questions, right? So who is the funniest player? Now, you're the senior, right? So who is the funniest player on the team?
That is a tough one.
Is it?
Definitely Lauren,
Right.
and a little bit combined of me.
Okay. All right. So who's the team mom? Who's the player that's the team mom? The one that's always, behave, stop doing that. Who's the team mom? Every team has one.
That's a hard one.
Is it you?
Sometimes it is me, and then sometimes it's not. We all have our moments when it comes to that.
Well, that's good. That's teamwork. Now, I'm telling everybody to do this. I want you to look into that camera, and you can't repeat anything your other teammates say. Tell Brevard County one thing they need to know about the Satellite Scorpions volleyball team for 2019.
Brevard County needs to be ready because we're determined to beat everyone.
There you have it. No doubt about it. Satellite Scorpion Night continues here on 321 Sportscast. Thank you, Carter.
Thank you.
We wind down with Satellite Scorpion Night here with senior Kaylee Flynn. And Kaylee, first of all, welcome to the 321 Sportscast studios. I'm going to start off by tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm a senior,
Right.
and I really like volleyball.
What positions do you play?
I just play right side.
Right side. Okay. How long have you played volleyball?
I've been playing since middle school.
Okay. Are you one of those dedicated volleyball? When I mean by dedicated, I mean it's only volleyball, or do you play any other sports?
I was really dedicated last year, but then this year I kind of took a break and I played lacrosse.
Okay, that's a cool sport. Let's talk a little bit about your experience with lacrosse. How was that?
I really enjoyed it because the people on the team, I had a lot of friends on the team. It was very hard. It's kind of like soccer.
Right.
So I kind of struggled on the field, but I was kind of getting it, but it wasn't really my sport.
Are you going to go back and try and play it again this year?
Yes.
You know, lacrosse has a lot in common with volleyball in that in this area, specifically in the state of Florida, it is one of the most beach volleyball, I should say. It is one of the most up-and-coming sports in the state in terms of high schools that are playing it. So it's a growing sport and one that a lot of Brevard County teams are taking part in. Okay, so tell us a little bit about you. Let us know about you. And we know I know you're a senior. So
Yeah.
tell me about yourself.
I really like hanging out with my friends.
Yeah, what do you like to do?
We usually like just go to the beach and like paddleboard. Just like we always stay on the beach and stuff.
What is paddleboarding? Now I'm old, so what is paddleboarding? You mean like on a board, like riding the waves in?
Like it's like the big board and we got the big paddle.
Oh, okay. I could never keep my balance on something like that. So that's got to be a lot of fun. So your team, tell me about your team this year. How do you see your team this year?
I'm really excited because it's like a lot of new people on the team.
Okay.
Since 10 people have obviously left, and I just know everyone's really nice. Like I've talked to everyone, and I really like everyone.
As a senior, is it? I mean, I know it's exciting, but talk about having to get to when you graduate 10. It's like kind of starting all over again, isn't it? Talk a little bit about that.
Like after I graduate?
No. With your team, having to really to get to know everybody again. How do you do that?
I think that we just have to do like team bonding. Like that's obviously very important because we did that last year, and I feel like we all were really close. Like after like team bonding because we got to get to like know each other.
What about what kinds of things? What kinds of things do you do to bond as a team?
Last year we went to the zoo.
That's cool.
It was a petting zoo.
That's okay.
Yeah.
It's a zoo, right?
Yeah, it was a zoo.
You bond it, right?
Yeah.
There you go. So what do you want to do? Well, tell me about you as a student.
I really enjoy childcare.
Oh, okay.
Right now, yeah.
That's awesome. It's not often you hear someone your age say they enjoy childcare.
Yeah.
Tell me what about childcare you like.
I really like working with kids.
Yeah?
I want to become a teacher when I'm older, so
Okay.
it's like a really good program. And when I graduate, I'm going to be able to like teach at a preschool right away without college because of that class.
I think that's awesome because, you talk about, that's hands-on experience.
Yeah.
Every mom in this room will tell you, there's nothing you're going to learn at a college that's going to teach you that you can't learn from going right to work into doing that. How did you become interested? I mean, what is it about child care? Just playing with kids? What age group? Young kids, 7, 8? How old?
They're usually 4 or 5.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I love working with them. Like sometimes it's a struggle because they usually like to not listen and they do their own thing, but like just working with them and like seeing them like learn and like develop is like, it's really like.
Has it taught you to have a better understanding of your mother being involved? Right. In what way? Patience?
I know, yeah, it's a lot of patience. Like when I first took it, it was kind of hard for me because I didn't understand like how the kids were acting, and I didn't know like patience was really important, but
Right.
now I'm very like calm with them and I can get them to like do what they need to do.
The number one thing is patience as a parent, and understanding, and of course love. I mean, that's a given. All right, so tell us, you said you like hanging out with your friends. Tell us about some of your hobbies.
I really like to just play beach volleyball.
There you go, right. I mean, that's fun. And then music, food, tell me about that. Favorite music, favorite type of foods?
I listen to all types of like music.
Right.
Yeah.
You almost would have to, being in the child care, right?
Yeah.
And then favorite foods, what do you like to eat?
I really like burritos.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to ask you the same question I'm asking your teammates. Who's the craziest player on your team? The craziest, meaning who's going to eat the pickle off the floor or the table for $2?
I think that it's either Carly or there's another teammate named Terry.
Okay.
She's very crazy.
Very crazy.
She has a lot of energy. I think she'd do that.
Who is the best singer on the team?
Terry.
Terry, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
She sang the national anthem for us one time.
Oh, really?
Really good.
We'll have to check that out. Now, I want you to look into that camera as well, and I want you to tell Brevard County one thing about satellite volleyball this year that they need to know.
Well, Brevard, be ready because we're coming really strong and we have a good team.
There you have it. The Satellite Scorpions volleyball team. We'd like to thank Coach Bolton and these great young ladies for coming in studio tonight. It's always a lot of fun for me. I get to learn a lot about the different programs around the community and great young ladies like Carly Flynn here. Thank you so much. Did I say I screwed it up again, didn't I? Kaylee Flynn.
Yes.
My bad. Kaylee Flynn. That's the one thing I got to get used to. Is so many names, such a short period of time. I'll get it. Kaylee, thank you so much. Thank you, Coach Bolton, and thank you, Satellite Scorpions, for coming into the 321 Sportscast studios tonight. For the Satellite Scorpions, I'm Alan Slaughter-Zinski. We'll see you next time on another team night.